Good morning and welcome to this thought for the day on this really very nice Friday morning. Hope you like my background. After Terry's comments yesterday, I thought I'd better tidy the desk behind where I'm sitting. Wouldn't want to upset anyone or make anyone want to come around and break the lockdown rules by coming into my house. Also, an apology if I'm not sure it's going to show on the video. I've got a somewhat bloodshot eye on this side. Hopefully that doesn't disturb you. I'm not trying to imitate Mike Pence in the debate a couple of nights ago, but if a fly lands on my head, maybe you'll see something else is going on there. I wanted to talk to you about something that's happened this morning. When I first looked at my phone, I saw I had an email. I was slightly surprised to get it. It was an email from someone I'd been mentioned in another message last night. It was a reply to that message. The only thing was I hadn't sent it to him, or I thought I hadn't sent it to him. Actually, I needed to include his email address in the message, so I typed his name in the to box to get his email address and pasted it into the message, and forgotten to remove it. So when I pressed send, it went to him as well as being about him. Thankfully, I hadn't said anything critical about him in the message. There was nothing particularly worrying wrong about it, but I just felt so stupid. It could have been so much worse. There could have been some confidential information in there that really shouldn't have gone to him. It could have been something that was, if not critical, I hope I don't say critical things about people, but there could have been something that reflected badly or just sort of went to the wrong person at the wrong time. I have to admit that it threw me into a bit of a bad mood. I thought, oh Tom, how can you make such stupid mistakes? You can't go around doing things like this. You deal with confidential information. People trust you. You can't go sending emails to the wrong people. And it made me think about how do I get out of that? How do we feel okay when we've made a mistake? Oh, there's various things we can do, aren't there? And we can just try and forget about it. The trouble is that we can forget about it for a while. We can distract ourselves with other things, but it'll come back to haunt us in the middle of the night or at those times of when we're feeling low. We can tell ourselves it doesn't matter. In this case, it didn't. In fact, it's probably not a bad thing that he did see that I was mentioning it, and it's provoked a conversation that I think will be quite useful. But it could have mattered. It could have been really serious. It could have been embarrassing. It could have been difficult. It could have upset somebody. We can tell ourselves that it was somebody else's fault. As I was writing the message last night, Helen came in and she asked about it. We talked about the message, and in that conversation, the fact that I still needed to remove his name from the to list completely went out of my mind. So I could tell myself it was her fault. Why did she come in? If I'd been able to stay and concentrate, of course I wouldn't have done that. But if I'm honest, I know that all those things are neither helpful nor very healthy. Blaming other people, it wasn't Helen's fault, it was my mistake. I made a mistake. They're not helpful, they're not healthy. And then I realised that if we really know Jesus, if we know that there's a better answer. There's a much better answer when we start to feel bad about things we've done. You see, Jesus doesn't come to help us in our troubles. Well, he does help us in our troubles, but that's not really why he comes. If we really know Jesus, we'll know that he came to change who we are. Think about Peter. Peter, impetuous Peter, who only opens his mouth to change feet, who's always putting his foot in it. Peter, you're the rock. the absolutely steadfast, reliable rock on which I'm going to build my church. Matthew, Zacchaeus, the dishonest, greedy tax collectors, loved by nobody. I'm choosing you to be my special friend. Zacchaeus, I'm going to go have dinner at your house tonight. Matthew, you're going to be one of the 12 disciples. You're going to be one of my chosen disciples, chosen apostles. Woman, not even named. Woman with a bad reputation. Someone who people only looked at with either sneering looks or lecherous looks. I care about you. I'm going to stand up for you in the face of those who would criticise you. So when I realised that actually I'm not an ageing vicar who makes mistakes, I'm not a clumsy husband who's quick to blame his wife for things that's not her fault, but I'm someone who is amazingly, undeservedly chosen and loved by God. I am a child of God. That's not because of my job. It's because Jesus chose me. It's because I discovered that Jesus says the same sort of thing to me as he said to Peter and to Matthew and to that unnamed woman. I'm a child of God, yes I am. We sing in the song, who am I that the highest King would welcome me? That refrain, I am who you say I am. And if you really know Jesus, you'll know that you are too. You too are, or could be, if you haven't yet met Jesus properly, you could be his chosen, beloved, adopted child. And that says so much more about us, doesn't it, than the mistakes and the things that we've done wrong and let people down. So may you rejoice in that today. God bless.